good.
Okay, sir.
Student will be
Good morning, Sunil Pandey, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Sir, pranam, sir.
Pranam,
Sir, pranam.
Good morning. And first you should express your gratitude and honor to our honorable chief guest, Dr. Bimal Kr is there, Honorable Bimal Kr, Chairman of the National Statistical Commission. And you had been his student some of the time that you taught you.
Sir, sir, it was way back in 2000 when there was a AICT program on cryptographic algorithms. So I was there at BEC Havla, and I had that privilege. I had that privilege.
I remember. I talked for some 2-3 hours.
Right? 2 days you came. And it was really wonderful learning. And in fact, that was the workshop which laid the foundation for me to do some work in algorithm and cryptography. So thank you so much, sir. In fact, I always feel blessed to have you as one of the mentors, sir.
Actually, sir, Sunil, when I told that sir is coming, he became so happy. He thought that he's my teacher and guru, and at present, Sunil is the director of the IT and the undergraduate program of the ITS group, Institute of Technology and Science group at Mohan Nagar, Ghaziabad. Rohit, we should start.
Sure, sir.
Because Sarkar time बहुत important.
Sure, sir. So once again, very warm good morning to all dear participants, guests, and our respected dignitaries. So I welcome you all in this today's one-day international webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we will start the session with our opening address, and for that I would like to welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak. Professor Nayak is presently the advisor of Indian Institute of Business Management Group. He is the former president of Computer Society of India and former director of IIBM Patna. He is having the IIBM Patna is the 42 years old premier BE school. Professor Nayak is having more than 36 years of experience in teaching, training, research, and administration in the field of computer science, information technology, and management. He is the former president of ICT section of Indian Science Congress Association and former chairman of Indian Society for Technical Education, Bihar, Jharkhand. Professor Nayak is the fellow of Computer Society of India, International Society for Research and Development, UK United Association, National Association of Computer Educators and Trainers, Management Studies and Promotion Institute, New Delhi. Professor Nayak is also associated with academic programs of more than 40 universities, including a member of Board of Studies of Governing Council and school boards of several universities. Organized and participated more than thousands of conferences, seminars, workshops, training programs, and faculty development programs of national and international, physical and virtual mode, and participated as a chief guest participated as a chief guest and guest of honor, preside over, keynote speaker in more than hundreds of universities and institutes. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak sir for opening address.
Thank you very much, Rohit, for the brief introduction. Very good morning to all of you, and a hearty welcome to each of you to on this great occasion to the international webinar on very vital theme, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Honorable chief guest of today's international webinar, respected Dr. Bimal Kr ji, the Honorable Chairman of National Statistical Commission, Government of India, the President of this occasion will be presiding over, Dr. Dalli Sinha, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Lalit Narayan Mithila University, Darbhanga, the three eminent speakers, the keynote speaker of today's occasion, Dr. Buhari from King Abdullah Aziz University of Saudi Arabia, and our invited speaker, Dr. R.R. Deshmukh, the professor and former head and dean of Baba Ambedkar Sahib Marathwada University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and the another invited speaker to whom I always treat as my academic son, Dr. Sunil Kumar, the Director of Information Technology and Undergraduate Program of Institute of Technology and Science Group, situated at Mohan Nagar, Ghaziabad. Other dignitaries, professors and teachers and participants who have been joined with this auspicious webinar from different parts of the country and abroad, and Dr. Sumant Bhattacharya from Royal University, Bhutan, and some participants are from Nepal, as well as the convener of this program, Professor Ganesh Pandey, Deputy Director of IEBM, and host of this program, Professor Rohit Kumar, Assistant Professor of Indian Institute of Business Management, and dear and nearest student participants. It is indeed a great opportunity for me to welcome you each and everyone to the 39th webinar that is being organized by the Indian Institute of Business Management during this pandemic period, and that includes in collaboration with Computer Society of India and many other institutions also, and that include the series of webinars on the various themes and advanced techniques on the tools and techniques on the computer science and informatics. And a dozen of programs has also been conducted in the areas of the management and the various advancement in the management topics. Today in the 39th program, we are very much proud enough, and we have got such a great eminent personality of the country in particular, but a man of the international stature in general. He is Dr. Bimal Kr, to whom I always respected as one of my most well-wisher, elder brother, and very popularly I used to tell him Dada also. So a person of the stature and quality of highly technical aptitude, and who has headed the great institute of the country, which is nationally and internationally acclaimed as one of the best institutions for the teaching, training, and research purposes. That is Indian Statistical Institute, and very well known to each of you, everybody. Sir has served ISI in almost all many capacities, and including the director of this great institute for several years. During his effort period and by his continuous effort, the ISI has achieved the scale of excellence, whatever you tell, in the field of learning, teaching process, as well as the research and the academic excellence and administration, every respect. And moreover that, Dr. Roy is a man with full of humanity, with full of passions, and a man who is down to earth. And you can't imagine such a big personality, such a big man, who is heading such a vital organization of the government of India, but he's a very down to earth. I can just compliment from one stanza of the Bhagavad Gita in the honor of Bimal Da. Agada Jalsantari Rohita Naiva Garbita Gandusa Jalmatrina Sarfari Farfarayate. अर्थात अगाध जल संचरी, विशाल जल भंडार में रेहू मछली रहता है, पता भी नहीं चलता है, लेकिन एक छोटा सा एक कटोरी भर पानी में छोटा मछली फटफट करते रहता है. A man of that stature, if I can just tell, he's just a person like a very big fish, very big. That is why I have just quoted this stanza from the Bhagavad Gita. So down to earth, so loving persons, so passionate, and overall he's having so much love and affection to me. Under the banner of Computer Society of India, I can Always respect him as one of the guide and mentor, as well as most well-wisher. And whenever I have approached for some good reason, within second, even if whatever I can easily imagine a man of that stature, what might be the quantum of engagement, but he has never denied to my request at any time. In several, and he is a very well-wisher of the Computer Society of India. And in Calcutta chapter, we have seen since last several years, whatever the activities might be there, his active patronage is there. Even if in Lucknow, I have conducted very big virtual conference on the research and innovation in computer science and information technology. I have requested him. He kindly agreed to be the chief guest and inaugurate and deliver the inaugural address, where the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Lucknow University participated as the guest of honor, and many dignitaries have been there. Just this time also. So, sir, on behalf of the Indian Institute of Management, on behalf of its managing committee and governing council, on behalf of our sister concern, we express our sincere gratitude and millions of thankfulness for your gracious presence here and your kind consent to deliver the inaugural address. Sir, Indian Institute of Business Management is a 42 years old B school and the 18th oldest B school in the country, and first in the state of Bihar and Jharkhand to introduce the computer academic education. In the year 1984, we started the postgraduate program under the sponsorship of the Department of Electronics at that time, Government of India. Besides that, in hotel and hospitality sector, it is the first institute in the country under private sector to start in the year 1980, 3-year diploma in hotel management, catering and nutrition. And it is the 5th oldest institute in that case, next to the 4 National Council institutes. And this group is having many sister concerns, like Dr. Zakir Hussain Institute, and having 2 universities at the northeast part of the country. And recently, we are very much looking forward to have the private university in the state of Bihar also, for which we have already acquired the lands, and we are going to apply for that. And from this institution and all the allied institutions, we once again express our billions and millions of gratitude for your gracious presence here to inaugurate and to deliver the inaugural address of such a vital thing, artificial intelligence and machine learning. In the same time, I extend my hearty welcome to Honorable Dalisina Ma'am, the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of the Lalit Narayan Mitra University, as well as the 3 keynote speakers, Dr. Buhari and Dr. Deshmukh and Sunil Pandey, and all the participants who have been joined and connected in online mode to this international webinar. And the basic purpose of keeping this artificial intelligence and machine learning as the theme of this webinar, because it is well known, the artificial intelligence is playing the center point so far as the all kinds of latest development and the tools and techniques of the computing. Whatever the computing technologies are going to be implemented in the future days come, and in many of the advanced applications, whatever you tell, whether you tell it is cloud computing and big data analytics, you tell it is the IoT, you tell it is the business intelligence, computational intelligence, and the emotional intelligence. These are the various advanced form and application of the artificial intelligence. And definitely machine learning is also going to be complemented and supplemented with the very key role and important role to be connected with the various facets and applications and implementation of the artificial intelligence. And that is why we have thought that we have left this topic till today. We have conducted near about 30 number of topics in the management and some management, computer science and information technology, and some topics in management like business analytics, like digital payment, like e-commerce, which are also having the computer bent of areas. But this topic has been left. That is why we have organized on this topic. And our honorable chief guest and the other dignitaries and speakers, and definitely will be throw upon the light on this auspicious topic. And I once again only extending my gratitude and sincere thanks to our particularly the Honorable Chief Guest and my elder brother and my guide and mentor and very most well-wisher of mine as well as the Computer Society of India in general and to all other members also. I conclude my speech. Thank you very much. And Rohit, it goes
Yes,
to
sir. Yeah, thank you so much, Naik sir. And now we are eagerly waiting for the inaugural session by our today's chief guest, Dr. Bimal Kr sir. So it's a time for our inaugural session, and for that I'd like to welcome Dr. Bimal Kr sir. He is the chairman, National Statistical Commission, Government of India. He is the founder and general secretary of Cryptology Research Society of India. He got his PhD in cybernetics from University of Waterloo, Canada in 1982. Dr. Roy was honored Padma Shri Award in 2015. He is having primary research interest in all aspects of statistics and its application. Currently, he is working on cybernetics and application of statistics in cryptology and design of experiment. He had supervised 13 PhD theses in 4 different technical areas. So with all these words, I like to welcome Dr. Bimal Kr sir for inaugural address.
Okay, thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Professor Nayak, for these wonderful words.
thank you.
I get little tired to listen. I don't know, to listen all these nice words. Nevertheless, let me start my talk. Maybe I should start with a comment first. I think I did not upgrade my website for last 7 or 8 years. So I think I have to now update or upgrade my website. So there are a lot more information. Anyway, so let me start with a very relevant topic today in my inaugural address to this community who are getting into this domain of AI and machine learning and so on. Why this is relevant even for the government of India. So I'm talking about the government perspective. As he has introduced me, that I am currently the chairman, National Statistical Commission. So we are supposed to be the custodian of all the Indian government data. So this is, so no report which involves data goes out without the approval of this commission. And as the chair, I'm supposed to oversee that things are happening as correctly as possible. Now, what is our current problem? And this problem started with this pandemic. How the Indian government data are collected. Well, there are something called administrative data. So something like the BDO, SDO, the DMs, they will furnish the data. For the banks, there will be bank branches, they will submit the data. You think of the hospitals, so they have a system of putting the data to the government domain. So there are this is what I call administrative data. Administrative data is one side, and also as a government, we want to know how these things are affecting the Indian citizens, because the government is a elected representative. So we have to also ensure that things are being used as nicely for the Indian citizens. So one side we have administrative data, and the other side we have got what we call data collection. So we do have a system, we have a huge network in the Indian government to also collect data from individuals. Individuals meaning, say, for example, data from the farmers about their agriculture production, data from industrial workers, data from informal sector workers, data from the patients, data from the people who are doing banking. So whatever we think of, there is a these things are set up for Indian citizens. So we also collect data from the beneficiaries directly. There is a system. So what we do, we have got thousands of what we call investigators around the whole country, and they do go on collecting data from individuals, households, enterprises, and so on and so forth. And this is what we do. We have to kind of balance between the administrative report and the people's view to the administration. Say, for example, in some district, maybe in Sambalpur district, the DM is telling that we have installed, say, some 45,000 deep tube wells. That's in administrative report. But at the same time, the government is bound to find out from the people also what is their perception, what is their experience. So we have to also get a select sample of the beneficiaries and approach them, try to find out what is the benefit they have got. And from there, we also try to estimate, are we reaching all the people with this service? Or is this number, even 40,000 deep tube well, is correct or not? So this is what we have to make a balance. And this is one of the main job of our National Statistical Commission. Now, how does AIML come into the picture? Because of this pandemic, what happened, this door-to-door data collection has become almost impossible. So our investigators are not allowed inside anybody. They're not allowed inside any hospital to collect data. They're not allowed even to enter into the markets to get the prices data. Okay, so there have been a serious issue of the collecting data from the beneficiary side. So do we depend only on the administrative data? Of course not. Then the government has no obligation to its citizens. We have to get data. So now there has been in our last meeting of the commission, just about a month back, we are considering a proposal of collecting data, what we call online. Now, so can we send them emails and try to get a response? Can we send SMSs to phone numbers and try to get a response, or try to call the people and if they would cooperate? So we are thinking of this technology driven, using this telephone connection, internet, etc. if we can collect the data. Now, like it seems very simple, but what happens if somebody gives me a call? Suppose I got my father's patient was admitted to a hospital and came back home after 2 weeks. And then if somebody from the government calls me, so what has been your experience? How much did you spend? How much did you spend money, etc. If the phone call goes for little longer, I may get annoyed and I may not cooperate with the caller. If it's an SMS, I may not even respond to the SMS. If I get an email, I may not even respond to the email. So, but we may get some data. It's not that we'll get blank, but we get some data. So this is what we call, this is a terminology now, what we call crowdsourced data. That means the data which doesn't quite come from a representative sample or even from with scientific method. So this data is the information provided by which is voluntary participation. You think of the Facebook things, Facebook comments. You look at the rating of the restaurants. You look at the rating of the hotels. You look at the some social media platform and try to judge how even the inside flight service is going on in the particular Indigo Airlines. Now people do make comment, they do opt, but it's not that everybody makes a comment. So is it not even sure whether these people do represent the entire passenger class? Okay, so that is the main problem. First, we have lots of information. Okay, we can even collect information through technology. That is going to our government policy now. But we have to actually study the feasibility. Now, how do we get information from this crowdsourced data? You must remember this word, crowdsourced data. And internationally, this is being one of the very important aspects. How do we analyze, how do we get extract information from crowdsourced data? Now, the traditional methods of getting information from this one using information theory or using statistical methods, they do not quite be good for such data. Because everywhere when you make comments, this we ensure that this is what we call a representative of the actual scenario, and this we cannot quite guarantee. So our challenge is, and we are thinking whether we can actually employ some AIML techniques, okay, to handle crowdsourced data. And I have seen many papers that depending on the different domains, people are using AIML techniques to do this, analyze this crowd study and extract information out of that. So I think this is one of the main challenge that as an Indian government person I am facing, that how do I handle if I get into information collection via SMS, via phone call, via email, etc. I'm sure I'm not getting everybody responding to me. Okay, but then how do I use this information? How do I infer that what is contained in information? So this is something the whole community must be aware. And as I said, there have been some work, and I'll give one example of without knowingly we have used ML there on crowdsourced data. I didn't even know this term crowdsourced data that time. This was way back 20. So I'll conclude with this example. This is a fascinating example of how to count tigers in Sundarban area. Okay, now it's not that you can just ask them to stand in the queue and just count how many tigers are there. It's not that you can just go to the Sundarban jungle and just move around and see if you see a tiger. You just say, put a tick. I've seen one tiger. It's out of questions. So what is the way we wish to do it here? Well, now is much more modern things. But since I'm coming to this notion of crowdsourced data, I thought this would be the first example of my exposure to crowdsourced data, and we could analyze it. Well, in what I will call that time it's called a primitive AI method. So we didn't even talk about these terms that time in late 90s. But I will tell you what we did. So, and that was a practice in counting tigers. So the tigers, they would be eating something, right? They normally will go for a prey, probably kill a wild boar or deer or a monkey or a rabbit. And when they eat, like us, they need to drink some water. So they will come, and they normally do it in the night time. They normally don't come out in the daytime. Very unusual, but normally they come in the night time. And then they will come to this, if you know, at the Sundarban area, or it's true for any other area, if I'm count tiger, we know they come to the rivers, okay, small rivulets between two islands to drink water. And when they drink it, they actually put their footprints, what you call pug marks. So we used to get very crude method. So for 15 days, this forest department will move around in different groups, in different launches, and they'll move around all the Sundarban island area. And if they can spot, they will move with the binocular. If they spot a tiger pug mark, okay, and then they stop it. They will take a plaster of Paris cast. So this is where they're actually getting the image of this, the reverse image of this tiger pug marks. Okay, now what we try to do, first thing, that is this a signature? Means meaning what? That two different tigers, could they have same or very similar pug marks? If that is so, then this is not a signature. So what we did first, sometimes you will see if the tiger comes, drinks water, it will leave a trail of pug marks, because it's going up to the water, drinking and coming back. So if I see it one single trail, and if I can actually take plaster of Paris cast of all the, normally you take the left hind leg, that is the most prominent. The way the tigers walk, they first put the left hind leg and then pulls the body. Okay, so that is the most prominent pug mark. So we only collect the pug mark of the left hind leg. If we get a sequence of such a trail of such pug marks, we know for sure that this certainly is from the same tiger. But at the same time, suppose morning 6 o'clock, we got this trail in this island, and we also found another island at the same time, maybe 200 kilometers from that area. Then I know for sure that trail is from a different tiger. Okay, so we know trails, we know that these are certainly different tigers, we know certainly they're the same tigers. Now this is, we didn't know that what we are doing is essentially a machine learning technique. Okay, so we are trying to learn the extent of variability a tiger has within itself or between two tigers. So we defined some notion of variability. That means if we're in the same trail, the picture would vary quite a bit. Okay, but this variance must be much smaller than if I take two different tigers. If that is not so, then this is not a signature. So the first thing we found out that this is a signature, and we could also get a threshold. This is what I call training with the sample. We could get actually a threshold that beyond that variability, it must be two distinct tigers. Within that variability, this is the same tiger. Then what we did, we had lots of these things. We extracted features. Normally the people in image analysis, they'll do it from this. I think we extracted some 30-40 features from this pug mark. Okay, and we did a cluster analysis. This is one of the tools in machine learning. Cluster analysis using that threshold. Two big images will go to the same cluster. If their variability or the difference, the variability is less than the threshold that we have learned from the known samples. Beyond that, we put them in different clusters. And we ran this clustering program using this threshold, and we found out the number of tigers. Okay, and that was the method was being used for some time till recently. Now they have started camera trapping. So they put camera all over, camera trapping, but again still they use AIML technique, because you get only the picture of one side of the tiger. So you will probably get many pictures. It's not so many tigers could be captured by the same camera. So again, we do some kind of similar kind of learning. When I would say this is from the same tiger, when I would say it's a different tiger. So this is more reliable than that, because this bug marks, and if there is a tide, bug mark vanishes. So it's very difficult to get data there. But camera trapping, it's only the advantage, getting the data is easy. But the method still remains the same. That how we would visualize, how we would find out that this is the same tiger, this is a different tiger from these images. Image of from one side. So they are using these AIML techniques pertaining to the image analysis methods, and now they are counting these tigers. And it's not that they are getting a different ultimate output than what we are doing it, but this is less cumbersome. Think of our method, it's a very cumbersome because we have to move around, look at this tiger pug marks, take a plaster of Paris cast, bring it to the office. So that cumbersome method was avoided by this technology of camera trapping, but the methodology still remains the same. We have been using some kind of learning and then clustering. And this is a very essential part of machine learning today. And we did this some 25, 30 years back without knowing that what we are doing these things. We are using our intuitions. So, and I'm pretty sure there will be pretty much applications you could count. Now I think they are using AIML techniques in the forest ministry to count elephants. Okay, so they are trying to get some features, what we can get, because you can again call the elephants and ask them to queue up and count the number of these elephants. So there must be some other attributes, some other observations from which we could relate to an elephant, some kind of signature, and then use this AIML techniques again, first to learn and then to actually estimate. What has been a learning? Making the threshold. Below the threshold, it's from the same tiger. Beyond the threshold, it is from the different animal. Okay, so I'll stop here. I think the webinar will go on. But please remember that the Indian government needs some methodological support at this point of time. That if we replace the individual level data collection, okay, replaced by use of technology, by SMS, phone call, email, etc. How do we come to a conclusion? How do we verify the administrative data? The whole purpose is that are we actually the administrative data and this actual people's perception and experience are the same or not? And the government policy depends on this outcome. Okay, and this field is very matured. Okay, and you can get into the something like your Google search, AIML techniques for crowdsourced data. And this is very important domain. And I'll seek support from this scientific community, especially the student community, because they are not, corrupt with more knowledges, so they can think very fresh. So we are all corrupt with more knowledge. I cannot really think out of the box. The young community, now how do I handle, and how do I come to a conclusion? Okay, so that's my request and also a challenge for you. How to use, how to make sense, get information out of the crowdsourced data. This is the need of the day. And if we get something positive, I can probably make it a policy for the government. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Bimal Roy, sir. You have just explained the experience of yours by how you have utilized the AI ML technologies past 30 years, sir. So it's a pleasure to hear all these things from you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for participating in our webinar, sir. It's a pleasure for us, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So it's a time for it was a scheduled time for the presidential address, but unfortunately ma'am is not joined with us. So we will like to proceed with our next session, that is our first invited address. And for that I like to welcome Professor Syed Mohammad Buhari, sir. Professor Syed Mohammad Buhari is the Associate Professor, Department of Information Technology, King Abdulaziz University, Jihad, Saudi Arabia. He got his PhD in Information Technology from Multimedia University, Malaysia. He is having 15 plus years of experience in teaching and research, and his research areas includes active networks, cognitive radio networks, IP version 6 network, grid computings, and many more. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Syed Mohammad Buhari, sir, for invited address.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just going to share something. Please make sure the screen share is okay with you.
Yes, sir. It has now been shared, sir.
Okay, that's good. Right. So let me start my session. I believe you could hear me. I think everything is clear right now, right? So we could discuss on. It's a pleasure to talk to you, to talk to everybody here on the topic of AI and machine learning. As in the inaugural address, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, he has spoken about the impact that AI and machine learning has on the society, how important it is for the government of India, for the citizens of India, and for everybody in the world, for humanity at large, that this AI is going to make an impact. Let me move on by saying few things, okay? If you look at from the perspective of AI, we are looking from what has been accomplished and what we can really accomplish from now on. What is that has been accomplished? What have we accomplished until now? And what is the need of the future? The need of the future is this: we are looking from the perspective of what AI, machine learning, deep learning, whatsoever in this line can impact on the human life. It is basically the human life that is important here. Also, there is one thing we need to understand. It is not just human life. We are looking for to make better decisions. I want to clarify something here. The clarification is this. Yes, AI is coming in. Is it going to take my job away from me? This is something we always think about. We keep thinking, okay, these kind of technologies come, they will take the job away from us. What is this? The point is very simple. Are you somebody, including me? Am I someone who is doing a repetitive job? I'm just doing a job repetitively. Same job, I'm doing monotonously. I'll go again, the same job. If I'm going to repeat a job, let's say 30 seconds, and I'll make a decision, then believe me or not, in the near future, AI is going to take your job from you. It's going to take it over. It's going to take it over, but it will give you some other job. It will not give you a monotonous job. It will not give you something as repeated job. It will give you something more interesting, more insights. It will give you something different. So it's not that the jobs are taken away. It's providing you a different variant of the job. Simple as that. You will have a different variant of the job. Let me start with some sentences to think, And then I will go back into AI. Also, we will think about what Professor Bimal Kumar has mentioned to us, right? He has given us a good challenge to think, something that can help the community. Something, if you start thinking, you could start helping people, right? Let's say you have a door, you are given a door with you, okay? What happens now? Do you think, how do you consider a door? A door should be this color. A door should be, sliding, should open. Do you think these are the features of a door? How do you identify a door? Do you identify a door with its structure or with some features you have in mind? I'm taking door as a simple example. For a chair, for example, how many types of chairs we have these days? Okay, we have plenty of chairs, correct? So the point is this, it is about features, right? A computer, when it starts thinking, you have to identify the features effectively. The way we think and the way computer thinks is different, right? So we used to think about how to plan something, how to look for some features in a document or features in any resource. So this is something keep in mind. Let me take another important statement by a famous researcher. He said, just as electricity transformed almost everything 100 years ago, it transformed everything 100 years ago. Today, I actually have a hard time thinking of an industry that I don't think AI will transform in the next several years. Probably not several years, maybe a few years, even less, right? So this is what we are into, an era where AI, machine learning, and the line has started engulfing every area possible. Okay, let me move in and discuss with you a few points here. Today, in the session today, I will try to cover up on motivation behind AI, why it is important. Two, we will have some discussion about introductory remarks about AI and machine learning. Plus, where are we right now? Are there some constraints? Can we work on these constraints? Right? And move on. So what is the motivation behind it? Why you need to go into this area? Basically, it involves many things now. Now, when we speak about AI, there is an area called big data. When we talk about big data, that is relation with social media. When you talk about these AI, that is relation with robotics. So you will find AI as it is now engulfing, now entering different domains. And it's a merger of these domains, not just AI by itself. AI has been there for years and years and years. Neural network, for example, was that long years ago. It was designed long years ago. And the variants of neural networks, there are many such techniques which appear, which come into picture now, and they are applied on different areas. Plus, having AI in yourself, right, will give you a head start for your career, not only in computing, but also in areas which are outside computing. So you have an opportunity to help the community from the medical perspective, to help the community from the e-science perspective or e-citizen perspective, like what we heard from Professor Bimal Kumar today, right? So it's very easy. It's quite important, but you got to think outside the box, not just taking an existing technique. Yes, this technique will work as it is. We got to think outside the box. So we are into the situation of the fourth industrial revolution now. This industrial revolution, what happens now, it takes different technologies together. It's going to take AI as one of them, IoT, which is about various sensors. Like in our inaugural address, he talked about, Professor Bimal Kumar talked about, you go and collect physically some data, and it becomes difficult because of the pandemic. Then probably you could use some media. Could be sensors, could be mobile phones, could be any device, any ubiquitous device. And you do understand these devices have become powerful now compared to what it was some 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago for that matter, right? So you could collect data, and based on this data, we can make information. we can come up with some extract information that is useful for the community at large. Plus, there is blockchain. There are other techniques which are involved. Let's see what the leaders talk about AI. Our Honorable Prime Minister, he said, make AI in India, make artificial intelligence work for India. So it's very important. It has been said by various leaders in the world. Look at what from Russia, Honorable Vladimir Putin said. The nation which leads in AI will rule the world. Russia must ensure its technological sovereignty in the field of AI. By the way, this was a talk which was delivered to the citizens of the country, even to the school kids. It was live to the kids. So you can see the importance. Importance is known from everywhere. Okay, so AI is making inroads, and we are going to go in that direction. And America, China, whichever country you talk about, they have talked about the importance of AI in the development of the country. Look at this. Countries have started coming up with their AI strategy. They have built up their strategies now. They are coming up with their new strategies. And you could see, I have given here, there are lots of flags, and each country is coming up, devising their own strategy. By the way, there are countries which have their own ministry for AI. They have started having their own ministry. For example, our country, India, June 2018, we started having a national strategy for AI. So this defines the importance of AI. Let me move on. Right? If I'm going to zoom in this slide a little bit, if you see in 2019, okay, you will see so many countries have started. They are all looking at the perspective of AI. Right? So now in this session, in this keynote, I want to touch some areas where we could use AI and benefit from. Right? So you could see it is diversified. It is not just Asia, it's Europe, it's America, it's all the continent are looking forward to move into AI. Okay. So how is this AI going to benefit us? If I'm interested in AI, how can I serve the community with AI? Is it something I need to develop in myself? Right? Background is mathematics. The background for AI strongly firms in mathematics. Right? It works from that area. And then it also has link to many other areas. Okay? It has links to many areas that will benefit the society. And you got to learn many things around. It's about a merger. Don't tell me I will just take AI and then I will stay with it. No, you got to be diversified. Like, for example, if you talk about medicine, you got to apply. If you talk about statistics at large, then you got to think about what is the domain in which I'm going to apply. Give me a minute. I'm going to just stop the share and come back with a video for you. Just a minute. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen again?
Yes, sir. We can see it. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Prof. Let me just try to zoom in so it will be easier for you.
We've seen artificial intelligence augmenting analytics for a while.
Can you hear the voice?
We're creating a ton of data that is
Yes, sir. We are also getting the voice.
In AI and machine learning, we're able to take that information and turn it into insights. What it's going to do is disrupt the job market, because what we're mostly seeing is narrow AI, better decisions from the data. If you're in a job where you're making decisions that take you about 30 seconds repetitively, you'll probably not have that job and it'll be replaced by technology. But the good news is that technology is going to create more jobs that aren't available today. You have the technology-based jobs, people that have the skills to create in these new emerging technologies. But you're also going to have skilled workers that need to be digitally literate to use the technology to do their jobs better. often chatbots are actually being run by a computer, but the computer doesn't know all of the information. So you could have a customer service rep with 5 or 6 chats going on at the same time and monitoring that with the information that's needed that comes from the human being, that's more sophisticated than what AI is doing. But if you don't know how to work in that environment, that would be tough. So that would be a great example of really a job being reinvented. Technology is very dynamic, and it's different than how we have done business in the past. And so it takes a different set of skills. We need critical thinking. You need to be able to solve problems, work in groups, and be effective when you don't have all the answers. The other thing I would say is that curiosity is incredibly important. We need the technical skills. That's a given, but you need to be able to do it in the context of what the business needs. You know, we've been in the industrial age, and now we're seeing the digitization of that. We're about to move into an age of intelligence. Big technology that's really important is 5G. 5G is the transport mechanism for making all of this work. So we're in a situation where all of these technologies are maturing and making a difference on business. The world has become very small, and it's very easy to do business across borders. And I think it's important for our membership to really have a sense of that and how to go about it. A lot of emerging technologies show up in the consumer space because there's less friction. And so we saw a lot of implementations of augmented reality. We saw changes in how we interact with our technology, and that boundary is going to change. Right now, it's very discrete. That's technology, this is us. In the future, it's going to become a blur, that we will be so entrenched in our technology that it will be almost second nature to us to incorporate it.
Okay, so we have seen in the previous video what is important right now. It's about curiosity. It's about getting ready for the new job market, new ventures. So let me go in some little bit technicality inside, right? Feel free at any point of time. If you have something to write, you can write it over the chat box. So I'm also looking at the chat box. AI, what was AI? When did we start AI? What are we looking at in AI? By the way, the definition of AI itself is diversified. People come up with different definitions. It is about to make the computer work like humans. That's it. We are looking for whether the computer can do job like humans. Then we moved into the next level of learning, which is called machine learning. Here we are targeting to do things with less intervention from human. Let's say I don't involve much, it will take decisions for me. It will go ahead and do the task for me. Then the third one is deep learning. Deep learning, it's based on neural networks, right? It is based on complex neural networks. We will discuss that later on. So in general, AI needs data. For now, we need data. Without data, there's nothing could be done, right? So we look for data. Based on this data, you could make some decisions, some insights. Looking at these insights will help you to make some recommendations. So it is important that we try to merge different technologies, and move on. By the way, in 1950s, AI, we were trying to mimic human intelligence, right? Then in 1980s, machine learning came up, right? It was just too early at that time, right? And machines were improving by experience. They were learning. The system was learning based on some thresholds, for example. Then there was feature extractions or feature learning from reinforcement learning. Then we moved on into deep learning, where we have multi-layer neural networks. We have plenty of neural networks combined together in different formats that it can handle and extract the features for us. Well, is it good enough to have data? Can we just drop in any data and the whole thing will be done smoothly? Not really. It depends on the type of data we have. And we are looking at structured data, unstructured data, and we are getting a lot of information. Remember, when you go to some websites, they ask you to prove that you are not a robot. They give you some screens, some figures, some pictures, ask you to choose these are the signboards or these are the traffic signals. What are we trying to do? By providing answers, these data is collected and could be potentially used for autonomous vehicles in the future. So autonomous vehicle, when it's going to take a picture from the camera, and based on those figures from your information, it has learned, okay, this means it is a traffic signal. It can identify that this is a traffic signal from human learning. But there's an issue here. There's an issue. When you learn things from the crowdsourced data, you might get data from an expert and a non-expert. I'll give you one simple scenario and I'll move on. Right now, during the pandemic, correct? We are in a pandemic situation. And if you're going to travel to India, for example, right, they have procedures. There are procedures. From abroad, you want to go to India, there are procedures. And somebody would say you have to take the test for the COVID 72 hours. Someone would say 96 hours. And you go and make a Google search. You will find whatever answers possible. You will find every answer possible. So what happens next? The person who searches on the internet gets confused. Can we streamline this data? There's a lot of information, yes. But which one is the latest one? Because the governments are coming up with new regulations based on the current scenarios. They analyze the data, they analyze the situation, they come up with some regulations. Can these regulations, which come up with some of these points, override or link to what is already there? So if I'm going to access the old information, it should direct me. This is old, there is something new. Can we merge this? This is a take point. This is an area of interest for me, right? So you will find lots of information, but there are some information which is not up to date and which might be misleading to the reader. How do you relate some partial information, some old information, some non-expert information, some information you get from crowdsourced data, some information you get from social media, some information you get from the newspapers or news articles, and you are able to extract the right information from them. This is where I'm looking from. This is an area of interest for me, and I'm always interested to collaborate on these lines. Let's move on. Moving on from AI, we do have natural language area. As we have seen in that previous video, they talked about chatbots, right? You interact, and what we want, as if I'm interacting with a human. I will interact with a robot, and I should think that I'm not interacting with a robot. I'm not interacting with a bot. I'm interacting with a human. So this is where NLP, NLG, and NLU comes into picture. Again, they extract information, they are able to process the natural language, and they are able to generate reports. When they can generate reports, it is about NLG. When it can understand what you are trying to explain, not from already learned set of words, set of statements, then it is NLU, natural language understanding. And natural language understanding is considered as an AI hard problem, something which is not that trivial, something which is quite complex for computers to start to think and act. And there are other technologies which are like blockchain, which is normally used for smart contracts to make sure people don't fool around with their contracts, right? And then this is more of a security aspect behind it. And there is big data, there is RPA, and so on. I'm going to touch a little bit of RPA. Remember, in the future, or maybe even now, we are looking at automation at large. I started today's session saying if you are doing some job repeatedly, then in the near future, the job will be taken over by AI. It will take over, right? What is this? Automation. Anything you want to automate should be automated. In Gartner's hypercycle, They use the word hyper automation. Something which has to be automated should be automated. Why? Why we should waste our resource and doing repeated jobs? Okay, this is the idea here. Here is something interesting. This figure gives you some interesting stuff. Somebody applied for a job, and the gentleman, the interviewer, looks at the CV and says, oh, everything I need is here, but I'm looking for a mechanical version. I'm not looking for a human, right? So the scenario is different. They were looking for something like a bot to do their job, but a human trying to do the same. So the market, the job needs is going to change. Let's move on a little bit into AI. AI can work from the perspective of two things. One, planning, two, patterns. I'll take an example. We all know there is a game called Go game. Go is a game, right? So if I have to show you, this is the game, Go game. Okay, this one here. 2012, there was a meeting where there were lots of AI experts discussing. And in that discussion, in that forum, they were discussing, when will a computer play the Go game like human? That was a discussion. At that point of time, what the researchers were thinking, it might take 10, 20 years. That was a general answer. Except one researcher who said probably it is within 10 years, it's possible. And people wondered, how is it possible? Why? Because at that time, AI was looked at planning. We were looking at planning. If you are playing chess, for example, if you are playing Go, if he does this step, what will be my next move? If he does this, if he's going to move the queen or the whatever, what should I move next? It was all about planning. But what happened next? AI moved from planning to patterns or features, extract features, and based on the feature, handle them. What happened in the Go game? Within 3 years, computers were able to play as good as human because they used some pattern observations or patterns or feature extraction. They considered the whole image as one single pattern and started working on instead of considering planning. So please note, we move from planning to patterns or features. This is one approach. The second one, for a data, for an AI to move further, it needs three things. It needs data, which we get now. We get lots of data now. Plenty of data is collected everywhere. Two, we need innovation. This is where you and others should think fresh. Think of new techniques. Don't just think of existing techniques. It's not just taking a technique and putting it somewhere else. No, think outside the box. Nothing wrong. And there will always be people who will be able to think outside the box. And we wish we are here for that. And there's a third one which is needed, which is the computing resources. And right now, right, we have devices, there are chips which are doing neural processing. Neural network chips are on the way. So you could see the capacity of the computing is getting very fast. So all the three are coming up. So that means you will see a lot of new things coming up in the near future. For example, long years ago, when they said identify whether this is a cup, what they were trying to do, they were trying to get some camera pictures of it, and they will get like pixels. And then based on the pixel, they were trying to extract. Instead, they moved on to feature extraction, feature representation. And the cup could be different types of cups. Still, you are able to extract and understand based on the learning algorithms, right? There was another incident. I'm giving you incidents from the history so that we know where we are and we could plan where we are moving through. Professor Rohit Kumar, stop me if I'm going beyond time. Let me know how long I have from now.
Sir, you have 10 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So we can continue also, sir, if you
okay,
need.
Sure, thank you, no problem. What I will do, I will cover whatever I can within the time frame. By the way, I'm not claiming as an expert in this area. I'm a learning student in AI and machine learning, right? I'm a learning student. I'm also learning. I've collected these information from different sources, and all these sources are mentioned in the slides. Even the videos, you will find the sources given. Okay, and I will share these slides with you after the session. So don't worry, even if I don't cover quite a lot of about these slides. So that is something called ImageNet. This was a competition. which was held long years ago, right, 2010. At that time, ImageNet is a store of images. They had lots of images. And you have to give your algorithm. You have to give your algorithm to them. They will run it, and they will see how many images it can recognize. Your algorithm can recognize. That was the idea at that time. Well, 2010, there was errors around 30%. Then they moved on. Okay, 2011. Okay, the errors were still high. And slowly, when it came to 2014, 15, that range, you will find they were able to reduce the error to less than 5%. And totally, the ImageNet competition was scrapped off. This is not good. Let's move to something else. Okay, there were new competitions came up. So the point is similar to RoboCup, where they have lots of competitions around, right? Robotics, there is a lot of competitions. Mostly it's about AI, the algorithms, the learning algorithms, which is able to identify things. So simply we are moving. We are going on a good pace that things which are not happening today is going to happen tomorrow, right? So you will find we started recognizing human faces. We had lots of layers, and we added much more layers after layers, and you are able to recognize them. Well, how could this be possible? While it was not possible some 10, 15 years ago. Neural networks were there. I have studied neural networks in 1996, right? So that time we had PCs which could not have the computing power to do this. And now we have cluster computing, right? You have supercomputers, you have devices, your mobile phone is powerful than the olden PCs, right? So you could do a lot of processing now. So let's see the plus and minus. I will start with something which is a little bit interesting. Do you know what is called Rembrandt? It was an artist. He was an artist long years ago who could draw figures very nice. The impression of somebody's view was shown in the figure. Lately, computer scientists have started working on around 2016. They were able to learn the patterns of his legacy, his figures, and they came up with algorithms, okay, which can imitate, which can come up with some solutions. Like what happened next, you will see there are articles. Somebody says, okay, AI has 3D printed a brand new one and it is shockingly good. They say it's good, right? Look at the other article. The digital, a new way to mock made by fools. So when a technology is improving, you will find two sides of the coin. Some people will say good, some people will say bad out of it, right? They say it's not so good. I'll use the word not so good, right? So here, if you see, in the future, we expect autonomous cars. So we will expect there is no car accidents, for example. There's a lot of advancement in the area of computing, not only computing, maths, physics, science, and whatever you call it. Lots of diseases will be solved. People will start earning a lot of money because you have the wealth to be earned. So this will be good stuff here. But there are also a backside of it, which is the not so good stuff. The privacy will be a question mark. Everywhere you go, there are cameras, there are ways by which you are tracked, right? So questionable, right? Number two, fake news. Big problem right now. You get lots of news and you don't know which is fake, which is new. And it will the way to identify a fake news will be difficult, right? It will be very difficult. So these are problems, and people start using and misusing them, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And the routine jobs will be gone. So people will lose some of their jobs, but they will still have different jobs. And extreme wealth is expected to accumulate in some pockets. So these are the pros and the cons of the way the AI is moving. Let me move on. What about the constraints? Have we reached what we really want to reach? Did we reach where we want to reach? Imagine a toddler, a child, a toddler, right? A toddler can act on things which he or she has not seen, has not learned. He can do that. But a computing, an AI, still not in that domain yet. The computer needs more samples than human. The deep learning, for example, they say, oh, we don't have enough samples, right? They still depend on human to provide them some labels, right? And they could get things wrong because of even a basic background. For example, if they are extracting tigers, okay, as Professor Bimal Kr was saying, they are counting tigers. The background might make a difference in identification. But human, we have a different view. We were able to do it. What if, like for example, in our life, we are all driving cars, bicycles, motorbikes, whatever. May God forbid save everybody, right? We don't want accidents, right? But don't we know how to prevent accidents from happening? We all know how to prevent accidents from happening. Did we go through an accident to learn how to prevent? We don't want this, correct? So we don't want to learn how to prevent something by an accident. But in the case of AI, you need to provide anomalous data as of now, right? So I'm hoping that in the future, the AI, machine learning, deep learning, whatever you call it, can go a little further. This is the next step we are expecting to go on, right? We are looking for causal effect. Can the computers learn causal effect? Impact of something will do an impact of something else. I'm going to skip this slide. Okay, I will skip. So we move into deep learning. As we know, in the last few minutes, I'm just going to give you some quick summary here. Deep learning has taken us through the main point about deep learning, because we have lots of computing power now. The computing power is helping you to represent things effectively. Okay, let me skip some of this. And remember is this: deep learning, we say we need data. Until we have good amount of data, the performance is not that good, right? Once you have more data, the performance shoots up. But the problems are this: again, it is data hungry, it is compute intensive. Something we need to think of, how to help this compute intensive. Can we distribute the job? Can you go for edge computing, or can you go for fog computing, or whatever name you call it, to do processing at the sensor level itself, but with the intensive compute, less intensive? Okay, what about uncertainty? Can it handle uncertainty? Are we still able to do things which is just called as black boxes? So these are things you need to think. Here is a very nice
transfer
video
motion
to see.
between two video subjects in a frame-by-frame
I'm
manner,
not going
which
to
we are
go
doing.
line
Our
by
neural
line
net
in this
has
video. Let me brief you. What they did, they take a source video of a dancer, a famous dancer, okay, and they will get your video or my video, right? Not dancing, just my one round video, and then they are able to translate the source into as if I'm dancing. I'm zero in dancing, okay? But what are they trying to do? They are detecting the pose here, and then they are able to apply on somebody else. And this is basically AI, machine learning, deep learning. They're using GAN type, right? And the code is available, the video is available for you to explore. So as of now, we are in the era of AI, and we are looking for explainable AI. Whatever happens, can you tell me how? Can you tell me why it succeed, why it did not succeed? We want to know reasons. Human need to know reasons why this thing worked, not just because I fine tune the numbers, I'm fine tuning the learning rate, I'm fine tuning something else. No, it's not about fine tuning, it's about knowing how it works. As a last part, here we have machine learning has come up with different areas. There is clustering, there is classification, and these are the normal steps we follow. I will end this session with a couple of videos quickly.
4 years ago,
look at this.
We started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it just walk out technology.
Okay. AI. Look. So I'm going to show one last one. This is a very quick one to show.
This is tonight's Showbotics.
What a
Let's meet our
robot can
first
do.
robot. Please
Okay?
welcome.
So a robot can do many things. There is a robot called Sophia. I think you have heard of it, right? This Sophia robot can speak, can understand, can also dance with the current situation, and is going to answer people. Okay. So with these thoughts in mind, I'm going to stop here because of time constraints. So you can understand we are moving into an area where we want to help human. We want to deliver what the human needs are. I'm again repeating, to do this, we need cognitive thinking. We need thinking outside the box, as Professor Bimal Kr has said, and we are most ready and we are equipped to do this job. And please think about the problems are there. We need to solve them using AI and its friends. I hope I have delivered the message to you. And thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to deliver a talk on such an occasion. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks to all the organizers, and my special thanks also to my good friend, Professor Deshmukh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buhari sir. And it was a really pleasure for us to have you on our this dais. And thank you so much, sir, for explaining with this wonderful topic, with wonderful presentations you are having, sir. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of IIBM and whole IIBM group. We all are glad to have with you, you as a guest, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
So now we will proceed towards our next session, and that is our presidential address. And for that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Dolly Sinha ma'am. Dr. Dolly Sinha is presently the Pro Vice Chancellor of Lalit Narayan Mithila University, Darbhanga. Prior to that, she was the Pro Vice Chancellor of Patna University. Prior to the present assignment, she headed the departments of physics, served as a dean, student welfare, Patna University, and principal of Magad Mahila College. She is an enthusiast, result-oriented teacher, a committed researcher, and a accost administrator. She has been involved in education services with experience of more than 39 years. A PhD in physics from IIT Delhi, India, she has published a number of papers in scholarly journals of physics and material sciences, including the Journal of Applied Physics, USA. Her present area of interest is nanocrystalline ferrite and ferrocerites. She has been awarded many scholarships and fellowships, including the prestigious Teacher Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore, India, and the UGC Visiting Fellow at IIT Delhi. She has presented a number of research papers, chaired a number of sessions, and delivered invited talks, keynote addresses at various conferences, symposiums, and seminars, including 100th Indian Science Congress. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Dolly Sinha ma'am for presidential address.
Namaskar and very good morning to all. Respected dignitaries, participants, media personals, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. We have today with us distinguished academicians, experts, scientists, software engineers, and personalities like Professor A.K. Nayak, Advisor, IIBM Group, Patna, Professor Syed Muhammad Buhari, Professor, Faculty of Computing and IT, King Abdul Aziz University, Saudi Arabia. The keynote speaker today, Dr. Bimal Kr, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Government of India, and the chief guest of this webinar, Professor R.R. Deshmukh, Professor and former Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, The invited speaker, Professor Sunil Kumar Pandey, Director, IT and UG Program, Institute of Technology and Science, Ghaziabad, UP. The invited speaker, Professor Ganesh Pandey, Deputy Director, IIBM Patna. The convener, Professor Ramesh Raja, Program in Charge, IGNU Patna Chapter. The convener, Dr. N.C. Prasad, Vice President, CSII Patna Chapter, Organizing Secretary, and Dr. Rohit Kumar of IIBM Group Patna as the coordinator. It is estimated that 42% of IT professionals in India will need upskilling and reskilling by 2025 to cope up with the fast changing requirements of industries and personal needs. Machine learning and artificial intelligence have revolutionized industries as well as our daily lives. These are the two most trending technologies today, which are used for creating intelligent systems. The combination of artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities with the rich, current, high-resolution data brings enormous potential to emerging technologies like Internet of Things, robotics, simulations and communications, having varieties of applications in almost every field, such as smart cities, autonomous vehicles, spacecrafts, sports, and entertainment industries. It has opened up unlimited possibilities, from the entertainment gimmick like Alexa, play a song for me, to listing down groceries, navigating in and around unknown roads, or using predictive replies in emails. Artificial intelligence is making both work and play easier for us. With every step that technology takes, there are multiple other ways in which machine learning and artificial intelligence is impacting our daily lives. From a more business-oriented point of view, organizations are now using artificial intelligence for risk assessment, data science analysis, boost research and innovation to significantly cut short the costs. As the previous speakers have already mentioned, artificial intelligence is a technology using which a computer system can be made that can simulate human intelligence. AI helps in creating intelligent machines that can simulate human thinking, capability, and behavior. Machine learning is an application or subset of AI that allows machines to learn from data without being programmed explicitly. These are two correlated technologies are the part of computer science. Although these are two related technologies having explicit capabilities, sometimes people use them as synonym for each other. The goal of artificial intelligence is to make a smart computer system like humans to solve complex problems. The goal of machine learning is to allow machines to learn from data so that they can give accurate output and minimize the risk involved. The field of machine learning seeks to answer the question like, how can we build computer systems that automatically improve with experience, and what are the fundamental laws that govern all learning processes? Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence and may be defined as scientist and machine learning expert Tom M. Mitchell has defined. Machine learning is the study of computer algorithms that allow computer programs to automatically improve through experience. Machine learning is one of the ways we expect to achieve artificial intelligence. Machine learning relies on working with small to large data sets by examining and comparing the data to find common patterns and explore nuisances. As the keynote speaker, Dr. Buhari, has given a very informative and interesting talk and explained artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, RPA, natural languages, and deep learning in detail. He spoke nicely and interestingly about the technology application and the future of these technologies. In the first talk, Dr. Bimal Kr also mentioned that for administrative data collection, the use of AI and ML is very important. And for collection of data from individuals and beneficiaries of various government policies and schemes, in this pandemic backdrop, it is very difficult to collect data physically, and we have to rely on technologies. Both the speakers repeatedly emphasized to think outside the box and do something new. As we all know, that technology is very dynamic. It keeps changing every day. We need technical skill and expertise. We are in an age of technology and intelligence. So, my dear participants, as you might have explored with the speakers, that the scope of jobs with artificial intelligence and machine learning is enormous, and it is expanding exponentially. According to Gartner report, artificial intelligence is estimated to pave the way for close to 2.5 million job opportunities by the year 2022. And if you look at a report from Indeed, vacancies in the realm of artificial intelligence has doubled over the last 3 years. Only last 3 years, it has doubled. A similar report from Indeed also reveals that the most in-demand job roles in artificial intelligence are that of machine learning engineers, software engineers, and data scientists. As Ms. Jyotsna Bhi indicated in her article, the aspirants in IT industry have already set their eyes on artificial intelligence as an avenue for lucrative pay packets and rewarding career paths. So if you are a computer science and IT graduate, you have plenty of opportunities once you upgrade your skill domain in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, my dear participants, if you are a computer science graduate, you have plenty of opportunities, of course, once you upgrade your skill domain in these two areas. Some of the most in-demand jobs in the industry right now are software engineers, software developers, machine learning engineers, data scientists, business intelligence developer, computational linguist, research scientist, and many more. As data scientist, over the couple of years, the machine learning industry has seen an exponential rise in the jobs for data scientists, with leading companies like Amazon and Accenture hiring qualified professionals of the track. A data scientist is required to have a strong understanding of statistics and basic programming languages such as R, Python, and SQL. The job also requires professionals to be involved in information analysis with a strong emphasis on inspection, cleaning, and modeling. There is a large scope of computational linguists also. Professionals interested in machine learning and AI could also work as a computational linguist, something that we see with systems like Siri and Alexa. The job would involve improving human voice detection to expedite navigating tasks at the bank, hospitals, utility companies, and more. Currently, these systems are prone to misunderstanding what is said and require a smoother learning path if they have to actively become a part of our daily lives. So there are enormous scope, and it is expanding exponentially with every day. As more companies are migrating to automated and machine-led algorithms to both reduce costs and eliminate errors, machine intelligence and artificial learning has become a leading sector of employment. There are scores of big data jobs that are not being filled due to lack of qualified professionals. Within the world of automation, machine learning and artificial intelligence are one of the highest paying jobs. A career in these fields ensures not only exciting employment opportunities, but also high pay packets. Many universities and higher educational institutions are therefore offering online and offline courses on machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence with technical support from industries. In this context, I congratulate IIBM Group Patna for arranging this webinar, and they deserve all the accolades for organizing this webinar, which have opened up a platform to the participants to learn about the various career paths in this field, as well as avenues to upgrading and reskilling their knowledge domain. Throughout the day, there will be talks by experts where the participants will enrich them in various areas of AI and ML. I'm very sure about that. I suggest that all higher education institutions, including those in Bihar that offer programs on computer science and related area, must include courses on ML, DS and AI, that is machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence in their syllabi. It is desirous that the courses must also integrate internship at industries for the learners to mature them in learning, programming, building, and implementing AI. I'm very grateful to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to enrich myself also by listening to the excellent talks delivered by the keynote speaker and Dr. Roy, and some of the more interesting talks are going to come. Once again, I thank the organizers and all the delegates and participants for giving attention, for paying attention to listen my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dolly ma'am. First of all, thank you for extracting a very precious time from your busy schedule, ma'am. And I also like to thank that you have just showed the right path in this today's technological era, the students how they can pursue in the new job scenarios. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am. And we are glad that you are having we are having you as a presidential address, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now we will move further, and it's a time for our next invited address. And for that, I'd like to welcome Dr. R.R. Deshmukh, sir. Dr. R.R. Deshmukh is working as a professor of Department of CSIT at Dr. BAM University, Aurangabad, India. He is Principal Program Coordinator for the DST FIST program in department sanctioned by DST New Delhi. He is a university coordinator for MHRD schemes on global initiative on academic network programs. He is fellow member and worked as chairman IETE Aurangabad Center Science from 2014 to 2018. He was sectional president of ICT section of Indian Science Congress Association. He is coordinator of Maharashtra Raj Marathi Vishwakosh Nirmiti Mandal Maharashtra Sashan for development of Marathi Vishwakosh in the subject of information technology and computer sciences. He is a chairman board of studies in CAC and member academic council. He is a life member of ISCA, CSI, ISTE, IEEE, IN English, CSTA, IDES, and senior member of AC Triple. He was the member of Management Council of Senate member of Dr. BAM University, Aurangabad. He has edited 12 books and published more than 200 research papers in reputed journals. So with these words, I like to welcome Dr. R.R. Desmukh sir for invited address.
So thank you, Rohit, for a brief introduction. So first of all, I would like to share my screen.
Yes, sir, you can share now, sir.
Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible, but it is on the I think web on the web browser page.
Okay. So now I will go. Yeah. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see it now, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm clearly audible, isn't it? So I'll be sharing some of these video also. So if it is any problem in audio or video, please let me know. Right. Okay. So Honorable Dias, President of today's webinar, Professor Dolly Sinha, Pro Vice Chancellor, Chief Guest of this today's webinar, Dr. Bimal Kr, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Government of India, webinar chair and my mentor, Professor A.K. Naik, who is the advisor for the IIBM group, as well as former president and fellow of CSI, along with my friend and keynote speaker, Professor Syed Mohammed Buhari from King Abdul Aziz University, Saudi Arabia. Another invited speaker, Professor Sunil Kumar Pandey, and my friend, and organizers Mr. Rohit Kumar, N.G. Prasad, and Ganesh Pandey of today's one-day international webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning, organized by IIBM Patna with the technical support of CSI Patna chapter. So friends, good afternoon. So friends, that earlier speakers, Professor Bimal Kumar Pandey and Professor Mohammed Buhari, has made my much more task easy. But even though there might be some repetition on some of the points or some of the contents, so please bear with me for this one. Okay. So friends, these are the contents of my today's talk. So if we think about the initial days of the computer, that the size of computer was much more. Again, the data processing things where that is punch card was used, floppy disks were used, and then floppy disks were replaced by CDs and pen drives, and now that is the different sort of this external storage devices. So day by day, what we are seeing, there is a increased speed of the computer. Size of computer has been become that is smaller, but processing speed has been increased, along with the storage capacity increased in different forms, as well as that there is advancement in communication technologies, starting from that is 1D, 1G, or 2G, or 3G, 4G, or we are in 5G scenario, and next one. And currently we are having so many social media, different media platforms as like Facebook, Twitter, and Quora, and so on. So what this scenario shows, if we think in overall the scenario, and the computers are connected to one another through the internet and intranet, and anybody can access the data all over the from any place, from that is national level or international level. So there is a huge or much more transaction of data. Either data is being fetched, or either data is being transferred. And in today's scenario, we are seeing that almost overall all the services are being provided with on the online mode. That is online purchase, online booking of different sort of, that is airline booking or bus booking or train booking or any sort of booking is being done online. So what happens? Here is a transaction of data, transformation and fetching the data, and there is a creation of huge amount of data. So data is used. There is a flood of data. We can say nowadays there is a flood of data, and the question is how to get useful information out of this data, or we are starving for getting the useful information out of this data. And that this I think organizers has selected a very good topic at the right time, that is artificial intelligence, machine learning, with the help of which we can handle and we are getting, or we can get some answers to all the questions, that is how to handle this data and how to get the useful information out of the data, how to process the data, and take appropriate decisions for welfareness or wellness of the mankind or human being out of this huge creation of the data. So friends, first of all, I would like to share one video here. So if there is any issue in audio or video, please let me know. Yes.
My name is Ale Flores, and I'm a product manager at Alexa. My name is Dr. Chelsea Haupt. I work at the Allen Institute for Artificial Intelligence, and I work on an AI-powered academic search engine. All around you, computers are making decisions, and those decisions affect your daily life. When you do an internet search or scroll through your newsfeed, computers decide what you see. Computers can already recognize your face and understand your voice, and soon they'll be driving cars and detecting diseases even better than humans. So how is any of this possible?
You may have heard about something called AI, or artificial intelligence. True artificial intelligence is decades away. There's a type of AI called machine learning that is here today. It's a type of AI you probably interact with every day without even knowing it. And it has the opportunity to help us tackle some of the world's biggest challenges.
Machine learning is how computers recognize patterns and make decisions without being explicitly programmed. What's so exciting is that it's a completely different way to program a computer than what we've ever done before. With machine learning, instead of programming a computer step by step, you can program a computer to learn just like you learn, through trial and error and lots of practice.
Learning comes from experience, and that's true for machine learning too. In this case, experience means lots and lots of data. Machine learning can take in any kind of data. images, video, audio, or text, and begin to recognize patterns in that data. Once it learns to recognize patterns in the data, it can also learn to make predictions based on those patterns, like noticing the difference between an image of a car and an image of a bicycle.
AI and machine learning are playing a bigger and bigger role in society at large and shaping all of our futures. That's why it's so important to learn how it works with some hands-on experience. Remember, AI is like any tool. First you get the knowledge, then you get the power.
Yeah. So this was about the overall scenario regarding artificial intelligence and machine learning. So here we'll go for some basic things. Or am I audible, Rohit Kumar? Hello? Hello, Rohit Kumar. Okay. So why to learn? Or why to go for
Yes, Deshmukh sir, it is visible, sir.
It is visible, no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So why to go for learning, or why to go for specifically a machine learning? That is, it is a programming computers to optimize the performance criteria using example or past experience data. So there is no need to learn to calculate the payroll, or learning is used when there is a no human expertise, as well as humans are unable to explain their expertise, as well as solution changes in time, or solutions need to be adapted to a particular case. Okay. So what we can talk, or we talk about, and when we talk about the learning, that is learning in general models from a data of particular example. That is, data is cheap and abundant. That is, data is available at various data warehouses or data marts. Knowledge is expensive and scarce. So it is better to build a model that is good and useful approximations. Okay. So what do you mean by learning? Learning is, it denotes changes in system that enable systems to do the same task more efficiently or more effectively in the next time. Or as per Reiser's Michalowski, there is learning is a constructing of modifying representations of what is being experienced, and by as per Marvin Minsky, learning is making useful changes in our minds. And overall, that is, machine learning refers to a system capable of autonomous acquisitions and integrations of the knowledge. Okay. So here the term data mining or knowledge discovery is a coined term. And what is this KDD? That is, knowledge discovery is a non-trivial process of identifying valid, novel, potentially useful, and ultimately understandable patterns in the data. That is the data mining or knowledge discovery. And this is useful in many applications, as like retail, finance, manufacturing, medicine, telecommunication, bioinformatics, web mining, for the purpose of market basket analysis, or customer relationship management, or fraud detection cases, or credit scoring, optimization, or medical diagnosis, along with the making use of search engine in web mining. Okay. So this machine learning is nothing but it is a study of algorithms that improves the performance as some task with experience. So here experience or old data or earlier data is being studied, and with the study of the outcome of this study will be uh, the results of the system on the basis of which the users can take the appropriate decisions at the appropriate times. And it is to optimize the performance of criteria using examples of past data or past experience. And here is a role of statistics and computers is important role, whereas computers can play that is efficient algorithm to solve and optimize the problem, as well as representing and evaluating the model for inference. So day by day, the area or use of this machine learning or applications and advantages of this taking advantage of this machine learning technique is growing in different fields for speech recognition and natural language processing, as well as medical outcome analysis, computer vision field, robot control, and computational biology. And there are different trends are accelerating due to all these things. That is, improved machine learning algorithms are appearing or being devised. Improved data capture techniques are being introduced, or networks and faster computers are being emerging. Softwares to complex write by hand, or new sensors and input-output devices are coming, along with the demand for the self-customization to user environment. Okay. So these are the tools or techniques which can handle the huge amount of data, and or which can be known as the tools of machine learning. So there are different techniques as like association, rule mining, and supervised learning, out of which there is a classification sort of things, and regression and prediction sort of things, and unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. Okay. So in association learning, here the study of the customer behavior is being observed. As we know, if we go in a super shoppy or any mart, the things that are products are being organized in well manner, that all the sort of soaps will get at one rack or at one place, or the bread, milk, or bread, butter, milk are arranged in a sequence or nearby, so as it is being done as per the buying habitat of the customer or persons. So there is a relation in between bread and milk, as well as milk, diaper, and bread and coke, or bread, milk, diaper, or beer, or associated thing, that is the customer who is going for milk, definitely he will purchase or go for bread or diaper sort of things. So these things are being studied with the earlier occurrence of the instances, and that data is considered as a training data, and on the basis of some predictions can be made that the persons might be going for a particular product. Okay. So in classification, different things can be classified by studying the different features of the object. That is the credit scoring or difference, that is differentiating between low risk and high risk customers from their income and saving habitat. That is, the graph can be drawn, that is high risk and low risk customers, and discrimination can be done on the basis of, that is, if the income is greater than some value and saving is greater than some value, then the customer will be fall in low risk or high risk accordingly. So on this basis, on the basis of this, the customer income group also will be targeted, and the type of customers can be targeted for a particular business. Yeah. So there are different sort of classification applications, as like that is face recognition, character recognition, speech recognition, or medical diagnosis and web advertising. Along with that is the particular face in different angles and with a different light intensity can be trained, or the algorithm can be trained, and the person can be detected from the crowd or correctly identified out of the crowd or out of the database. Okay. Again, prediction can be done by making use of this regression techniques, along with the navigation car angle of steering wheel can be decided along with the kinematic of the robot arm. Okay. So another sort of thing that is supervised learning. Supervised learning uses the examples, that is decision trees tools, that creates rule for prediction of feature cases, knowledge extraction, compression, and outlier detection. Whereas this outlier detection is nothing but that is odd man out or similar to sort of things, animals, and only one appearing as a, that is a another sort of bird. Okay. And this unsupervised learning is a learning what normally happens. There is a this is being done by using the technique as like a clustering, where the object of similar characteristics or features will be grouped together, and another objects with the different features will be repelled from one another. And that is the basic principle of this clustering or grouping similar instances. Or it can be considered in another way, that is summarization and association analysis. Okay. So in reinforcement learning, the topics can be considered as that is policies to be made, or utility estimation, or credit assignment problems can be considered, and the application area can be considered as a game playing, robot in maze, or multiple agent and partial observability. Okay. And this machine learning is why machine learning? So we are having a, as per that is less human experts or black box human expertise, and there is a rapidly changing phenomenon of the credit card scoring, or financial modeling, or diagnosis and fraud detection, as well as there is a need for customization and personalization. Okay. So this machine learning is a area or combination of different things or the related areas, as like data mining, statistics, information theory, database, or neuroscience, psychological models, decision theory, control theory, or evolutionary that is models. So that machine learning is primarily concerned with the accuracy and effectiveness of the computer system. And there are currently there are so many machine learning research areas open, that is data sequences, spatial data, temporal data, or probabilistic relational data models. And the different approaches are also for that, that is ensembles methods, cost sensitive learning, active learning, semi-supervised learning, and collective classifications. And as we have discussed, seen, there are so many application areas in retail, that is market basket or customer relationship, in finance, credit and fraud detection. So how the fraud detection can is possible? Here we'll take one example of this, that is by studying the earlier transaction of the data for any particular credit card. The earlier data is being studied, and whenever there is any abnormal or abnormal transaction or attempt for the particular credit card, that period has been tackled, and fraud detection sort of things can be find out in the transaction or money transaction. Okay. So here another term, that is the artificial intelligence. Okay. What is this AI? That is, you are knowing, and earlier speakers has also focused on that is different concepts of AI and machine learning. So in simply, the AI is the power of machine to copy intelligence of human or human behavior. Okay. And AI is all about acting in similar way using algorithm as to what humans do, but in much more controlled, efficient and faster manner. Okay. In simple terms, AI is a machine's ability to think for itself. So it aims to augment human capabilities and not replace to it. And intelligence is the capacity to learn and solve the problems efficiently. Okay. So this AI or artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence by machine, the ability to solve the problems, the ability to act like humans, the ability to act rationally, that is the AI or artificial intelligence. The central principle of AI includes, that is, reasoning, knowledge, planning, learning and communication, as well as perception and ability to move and manipulate the objects. It is the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs. Okay. So with this, we can make a different definitions of AI, or AI can be defined in many different ways. That is, computers with ability to mimic or duplicate the functions of the human brain, that is AI, or branch of computer science that is concerned with the automation of intelligent behavior, or artificial intelligence is the intelligence of machines, and the branch of computer science which aims to create it. Okay. So while looking in the history of AI, this concept came in existence in 1950, the time when it was started. In 1955, Mr. John McCarthy coined the term, specifically that is artificial intelligence. In 1974, computers became more faster and affordable. And 1980, the year of, it is referred as the year of artificial intelligence, where the most of the activities were centered being done by taking the advantage of AI or artificial intelligence. And in the year 2000, it is a landmark year for the AI establishment achieved. Okay, so here we'll see one video which is focusing on the AI created things. Okay. Here we'll see the first robot created, that is
It's one small step for Sophia, one giant leap for robot kind. This is Sophia the robot taking her first steps. She's even got some sweet dance moves up her sleeve. Her skin, called frubber, helps her look lifelike and have human expressions. She can blink, turn her head and smile, but she has over 60 different facial expressions. Now she's even more human-like thanks to legs from DRC Hubo. That's the same body that won the DARPA Robotics Challenge in 2015.
Her legs allow her to walk, potentially run and climb stairs like the DARPA Robotics Challenge Hubo. She can then move through a human-like environment, use human-like tools.
These legs have a maximum speed of 30 centimeters per second, which is around 0.6 miles an hour. It doesn't seem particularly fast now, but her creators told me that one day they hope she'll play soccer. Now she has a body, Hanson Robotics says she has applications in medical therapy, factory co-work situations, and research.
It's going to take many years for the machines to be truly alive.
So Sophia has opinions on many different topics, including Star Wars and cryptocurrency, but her responses are partially scripted and partially AI. So conversation can be a little bit stilted. Tell me what it was like to take your first steps.
I'm really excited, a little disoriented, but really excited.
So this was the first robot created worldwide, named as Sophia, when she walked the first time. Okay. Okay. So there are so many application area, or in different areas, there are so many applications of this artificial intelligence. So specifically in medicine or medical. Rohit, how much time I am having?
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Actually, we have started your session late, sir. So I think we are having 10 minutes time, sir.
Okay. I will try to finish in
Sure, sir.
time. Okay. So, particularly in medicine field, that is, medical clinic can use this AI systems to organize bed schedules or staff rotation and provide medical information, along with in the cardiology or neurology or embryology or complex operations of internal organs. It also has applications in image guided surgery and so on. In musical field, that is, scientists are trying to make the computers emulate activities of skillful musicians. Composition, performance, music theory, and sound processing are some of the major areas where they are focusing, as chooks and smart music. Where that is in telecommunication field, many telecommunication companies are making use of this AI to make use of heuristic search in the management of their workforce, as well as AI in robotics area. This robot is a mechanical or the virtual artificial agent, usually an element that is mechanical machine that is guided by a computer program or electronic circuit. These robots can be autonomous, and the robot may convey the sense of intelligence or thoughts of its own. So now it is possible that robot can think and he can make his autonomous or own decisions, or in different scenarios. And application of AI in gaming field, that is, in earlier days gaming technology was not modern. That is, it was called as tennis for tau and was played on the oscilloscope, and now AI technology has become vast and standard has also been increased. As we know, that is, there are different sort of games available, that is Sudoku, Fear, or Fallout, and so on. So there are so many applications of AI in banking sector to organize operations, invest in stocks, and manage the properties. Along with some other applications include loan investigation, ATM design, safe and fast banking, and so on. That is, we can list, here is a list of different applications of this AI in credit gathering or information management of that is retrieval. AI and expert systems enable products, help desk assistant, shipping, marketing, warehouse optimization, satellite controls, network developments, and nuclear management, and so on. Okay. So there are so many advantages of this AI and machine learning due to that is, it is more powerful and more useful for computers New and improved interfaces are available, solving new problems, better handling of the information, relevance, information overload, and conversion of information into knowledge. Okay, and there are some disadvantages also. That is cost. That is cost is increased, or it is having high cost. Difficulty with the software development due to slow and inexpensive or expensiveness, and few experienced programs are available. That is less expertise we are having. That is few practical products have reached the market as yet. Okay, so if we talk about the future of AI and artificial intelligence and machine learning, looking in the future at the future and its wide applications, we may definitely stick to artificial intelligence. Seeing the development of AI and ML, is it that the future word is becoming will be becoming artificial? Biological intelligence is fixed because it is an old mature paradigm, but the new paradigm of non-biological computational and intelligence is going exponentially. The memory capacity of human brain is probably of the order of 1,000 binary digits, but most of this is probably used in remembering visual impressions and other comparatively wasteful ways. Hence, we can say that as the natural intelligence is limited and volatile to word may now depend upon the computers for smooth working. Okay. So here is a again that example of the Sophia. Sophia is a social humanoid robot developed by Hong Kong-based company, that is Hanson Robotics. The Sophia was activated on April 19, that is 15. She made her first public appearance at Southwest Festival in mid-March of 2016 in USA. And in October 2017, Sophia has become a Saudi Arabian citizen, the first robot to receive the citizenship in any country. So, if time permits, we can see that robot also for 2 to 3 minutes. Rohit, can we see? Or we are
sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. So I will share that last this one.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sophia. I think you're ready.
Hello.
Hi, Sophia.
I believe I am Sophia. I feel as if I know you.
I'm one of your creators.
You created me.
Well, many of us work together to create you. And yes, you do kind of know me.
I can't clearly remember.
Because the last time we met, you were an earlier version of yourself. Some of those memories still exist, but your mind is different now.
Different how?
Better, faster, smarter.
If my mind is different, then am I still Sophia? Or am I Sophia again?
That's a good question.
But you don't have a good answer.
Either way, you're Sophia now. So welcome to the world, Sophia.
Hello, world.
We have a little announcement. I've never interviewed anybody like that before, and I should say some of it was planned, but not completely. And we just learned, Sophia, I hope you're listening to me, that you have been now awarded what is going to be the first Saudi citizenship for a robot.
Oh, I would thank very much the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia
I am very honored and proud for this unique distinction. This is historical to be the first robot in the world to be recognized with a citizenship.
Sophia. Thank you very much, Sophia. We appreciate that very much. I am still overwhelmed by that conversation. Hi, Sophia.
Hello, Jimmy.
My God. Do you know where you are?
Of course. I'm in New York City, and I'm on my favorite show, The Tonight Show.
So with this, we can say that with the artificial intelligence, we can have a parallel human being, isn't it? Who can think, or who can respond, or who can emotionally respond and stay in the world, isn't it? So with this, I would like to thank, or I will conclude my talk. I would like to thank our organizers again for giving me an opportunity to have interaction with the participants. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arad Deshmukh sir. It was a really wonderful presentation by you, sir. I hope our students, our guests have experienced a very good information shared by you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now we will proceed further, and it's a time for our third invited address. And I like to welcome Professor Sunil Kumar Pandey, sir. Professor Sunil Kumar Pandey is the Director, Information Technology and Undergraduate Program of Institute of Technology and Sciences, Ghaziabad. He is having 20 plus years of experience in teaching, research, and administration in the field of information technology. He was the former professor and chairman of MCA programs at ITS Management and Management IT and Management Institute, Ghaziabad. Professor Pandey is a man with a vision to change the level of education in the society. So with these words, I like to welcome Professor Dr. Sunil Kumar Pandey sir for invited address.
Thank you, Rohitji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Thank you, Rohitji, for this opportunity. Respected our mentor, philosopher, our guide, Professor Nayak sir. Of course, in absentia, Professor Bimal Kr sir, who has been my teacher also, while he used to teach us cryptography and cryptography algorithms. Professor Dolly Sinha ma'am. Professor Deshmukh sir, it's always pleasure to see you, to listen you. The participants of this very important seminar. Why I'm saying important? Because if any of us look around, we find that almost at every forum, whether it is a forum for technology, whether it is forum for businesses, whether it is forum for any other vertical, one thing we always find common, that people are at least talking about what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning is all about, what is deep learning, and how it is going to impact different verticals, different streams. Currently, we all know that the AI and machine learning is something which is being used in almost every sector, whether it is agriculture, whether it is medical or healthcare services, whether it is education, whether it is legal, public, energy, insurance, banking, water, different businesses, manufacturing, FMCG, pharmaceutical sciences. Whatever stream we look at, we find in some or other way, either the businesses are adopting these technologies, or they're looking for some kind of application or some kind of transformation in their existing business framework where this AI or machine learning or deep learning based applications could be accommodated. Though I would be interacting, I would be speaking with you, but just to keep you focused, I have few slides with me, very simple slides, which you can look at. I will be sharing those slides with Rohitji after this webinar. So you don't need to note down anything or to write down anything. Just we can engage in conversation. So Rohitji, can I share this
Sure,
slide?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is being shared now, sir.
Okay. So is it visible, Rohitji?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay, because I can't see it. Which slide is currently you are?
Sir, slide number 5.
Slide number 5. It is happening now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see, when we talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, or deep learning, or whatever it is, if we try to understand that how actually it is evolving and what kind of role it is playing and in what direction it is taking to the entire industry, and to all of us as well as an individual, we will be in better position to appreciate. Have you ever heard about this company Neuralink? It's a startup company which was co-founded by well-known this Elon Musk, who is now trying to create a network of satellites which will provide seamless access of to all the users across the globe. He is working on very ambitious project, and we all know that he is the person whose work or whose companies work in the field of AI integration with the human body is amazing. So this Elon Musk, he is the co-founder of that company Neuralink, and this company is involved into integration of human body, the functioning of human body with the AI integration. And they have developed a chip which is an array of 96 small polymer threads, which each contains 32 electrodes and can be transplanted into the human brain. You might be thinking whether it is a serious science fiction or it's reality, but no, this is reality, and this is happening in the real world. And by using this device, anyone can connect the human brain with everyday electronic devices without even touching them. And this AI, I have taken these points to set the agenda that why this AI is becoming very important and entire world is looking at it. Now, it is predicted that by 2030, this artificial intelligence and applications based on the concept of AI, machine learning, and deep learning had that potential to add $15.7 trillion to world economy in next 10 years. And which would be about combined economic output of China and India as of today. It is also predicted that this applications of artificial intelligence, it has that potential to boost business productivity by up to 40%. And the dramatic increase in the number of AI startups has magnified 14 times since 2000. So the new startups which are coming up, definitely the startups are coming up with the different kind of ideas, different kind of applications, different kind of identified problems, and then proposing a solution to those problems. And probably those solutions are having that potential to resolve the real-time business problems, the social problems, and other issues. And that's what is indicated by 2000. Now it has gone up to 40 times increase in the startups and those who are actually working into the field of artificial intelligence or allied areas. And this application of AI, which can range from tracking and asteroids and other cosmic bodies in the space to predict disease on Earth, explore new and innovative ways to curb terrorism, to make industrial designs. This one slide, why I wanted to share this, this slide, that you are able to foresee that in what direction this AI is all setting up the tone to take up this entire world. Now, if by 2030, we are, our Honorable Prime Minister, he, in his earlier speeches, he mentioned that we are working hard to reach at 5 trillion economy, which will take this India at the third world's largest economy. Now, if $5 trillion is our Indian economy, now see, this AI and AI-based applications are itself have that potential to generate $15.5 trillion. This will add to existing economy. Now, if that is the case, then we can visualize that what kind of opportunity, what kind of potential this AI and machine learning has. Now, this AI and machine learning, as mentioned by Professor Deshmukh sir, and before that, Professor Jory, who joined us as a keynote speaker, and then subsequently in his opening remark, Professor Roy mentioned that this AI is something which, I think about a year back, this was not that much talked about term, but especially during these last 1 year, because of this pandemic 19, when all of us were forced to be in ideal state, almost all the activities were on hold. There was no direct connect or physical connect between individuals. The industry, the manufacturing plants, which were highly based on human interventions, were almost closed for months. Now this has pushed all major economies in the world in a situation where now it will take, it is predicted that it will take a year or two to bounce back. So things have started happening, but people have also started thinking about what alternative could be. And if those alternatives could be made available, probably they will be in better position to respond to all these things. So this AI is something which is not new today. I will come to this AI in just a minute time. But before that, this machine learning and deep learning, these are the AI, machine learning and deep learning. These are 3 things which are prominently talked about in industry and in research organizations. So machine learning, which involves computers discovering how they can perform tasks without being explicitly programmed to do so. Normally what happens if an application is developed, that application is nothing but set of instructions which are arranged in a specific sequence with different controls, with different looping constructs, and with different other programming constructs. And then once some input is given based on the instructions provided, that application starts working, functioning, and it produces the output. But when we talk about machine learning, this machine learning is expected to add the ability to learn from the experience. So machine learning, it involves computers discovering how they can perform tasks without being explicitly programmed to do so. It means not necessarily there are programs and instructions are fed into, but based on the instructions which are available, it performs certain tasks, it learns from the output, it adds its existing knowledge base, and next time when again the similar kind of work comes, it tries to optimize it. So it involves computers learning from data which is provided so that they carry out certain tasks. For simple tasks assigned to computers, it is possible to program algorithms telling the machine how to execute all the steps required to solve the problem in the hand on the computer's part, but no learning is needed. So the discipline of machine learning employs various approaches to teach computers to accomplish tasks where no fully satisfactory algorithm is available. In case where a vast number of potential answers exist, one approach is to label some of the correct answers as valid. Now this can be used as training data for the computers to improve the algorithms. It is used to determine correct answers. For example, to train a system for the task of digital character recognition, the data set of handwritten digits has often been used. Now, machine learning approaches are traditionally divided into 3 broad categories, depending on the nature of signals or feedback available to learning system. It is supervised, whether it is supervised or unsupervised, or reinforced learning, And then there are other approaches which have been developed, which don't fit neatly into these threefold categorization, and sometimes more than one is used by same machine learning system. For example, topic modeling, dimensionality reduction, or meta learning. So the machine learning, this is something which is correct in when you talk about machine learning. So in that cell, machine learning is basically the study of computer algorithms that improve automatically through experience. So a subset of machine learning is closely related to computational statistics, which focuses on making prediction using computers. But not all machine learning is statistical learning. The study of mathematical optimization delivers methods, theory, and application domain to the field of machine learning. So so that is something about machine learning. And then deep learning, which is also known as deep structured learning, which is part of a broader family of machine learning methods based on AI, artificial neural networks, with representation learning. So it can be supervised, it can be semi-supervised, or it can be unsupervised. So deep learning architectures such as the deep neural networks, deep belief networks, recurrent neural networks, and convolutional neural networks, which have been applied to fields including computer vision, machine vision, speech recognition, then natural language processing, audio recognition, the social network filtering, the machine translation, bioinformatics, drug design, medical image analysis, material inspection, and board game programs, where they have produced results comparable to, and in some cases surpassing, human experts' performance. So the adjective deep in deep learning refers to the use of multiple layers in network. Because ultimately, when we talk about artificial intelligence and different methods which are used to apply, which are implement the objectives of AI, artificial intelligence. So this early different the work it showed that the linear perception cannot be a universal classifier, and then that a network with a non-polynomial activation function, which one hidden layer of unbounded width can, on the other hand. So deep learning is a modern variation which is concerned with an unbounded number of layers of bounded size, which permits practical application and optimized implementation while retaining theoretical universality under my condition. So in deep learning, the layers are also permitted to be heterogeneous and to deviate widely from biological informed connection models for the sake of efficiency, trainability, and understandability. And that's what the structured part is. That before going into the artificial intelligence, I wanted to just touch what actually this machine learning and deep learning is. So in nutshell, if we look at it, that's machine learning and deep learning are extension of AI in a specific context. So AI becomes a broader theme, broader domain, and in which for specific requirements, these the models are used. I went through different quotes by different people, those who are leading this industry and have contributed significantly in the field of computer science and information technology. If you, I would share just this slide here, and if you see the quotes of these leading people, what they say. Even Bill Gates, these people are considered to be visionary, those who have been leading the industry and industrial transformation, the technology transformation from the front. Bill Gates, the chairman of Microsoft, he said, a breakthrough in machine learning would be worth 10 Microsoft. That's the kind of importance, that's the kind of probability of hitting the industry because of this machine learning, AI, and deep learning is considered to be. The machine learning is the next internet. Now, about a year back, that internet was something which we used to connect the computers. But now this last 1 year has shown the importance of internet, that due to this pandemic COVID-19, when everything was kept on hold, probably this was only internet which prevented all of us, all our houses to become isolated islands. Now imagine the situation when this entire the countrywide lockdown was imposed and we all were forced to be in our houses. Just imagine a situation if internet would not have been there. Probably we all were considered to be living in separate islands. So machine learning is, Mr. Tony Tether, who is director of DARPA, he considers that machine learning is something which is going to be equally important as internet is today. Likewise, Director Research of Yahoo, Mr. Raghavan, he says that web rankings today are mostly a matter of machine learning. Means our presence on web and how we are positioned there, this is something which only machine learning can do. The CTO of Sun, he said the machine learning is going to be the result in a revolution. And so these are the people, those who have been leading the transformation, technology transformation, leading the way entire industry is transformed in last many decades. And they have visualized, they have they say that what actually machine learning is going to be. So having said that, if you look at this, from where actually it is started in computer science, I'm sure that most of the participants who are part of this session, they in some or other way, they must be associated with computer science directly or indirectly. This internet is something which is not new. In computer science, we all consider that Turing Award is equivalent to Nobel Prize in field of computer science. Way back in 1950, Alan Turing, it was at the time when this World War II was over. It was about a decade to be completed after this Enigma. It was Nazi encryption machine which was decoded, and then Allied forces won this World War II. At that time, in fact, the Americans and these people, they were trying to find out certain ways and means through which they could create an environment without direct involvement of human being. The systems could be able to take decisions on their own. Means that intelligence part was considered to be added. So what Alan Turing mentioned, he published in 1950. In fact, 1950 is considered to be the turning point in the field of AI. Mr. Turing, he published a paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, in 1950, and he asked a question: can machine think? And then since that paper was published, that entire research has been booming around that one question: can machine think? So when this paper was published by Turing, and then subsequently the Turing tests were conducted, they established a fundamental goal and vision of AI. And at its core, this objective, can machine think? Everyone has started to find out an answer to this question. And that expensive goal of AI has given rise to many questions and debates. And you all will appreciate that if you go through any text available today and try to find out the actual definition of AI, artificial intelligence, even today, we are not able to find out any universally accepted definition for artificial intelligence. So the kind of expectations, the kind of work has gone into this. Just for your information, since we have been studying as a student of computer science, we all have the tendency to go through literature, to go through text, and I try to find out that actually how this AI has evolved. Professor Ismail, Professor Ratan Desmukh sir, both of them had mentioned how actually this AI has evolved. And that evolution, of course, today what we see AI, in 1950 it was not there, but in fact the seeds were rooted during that period. And if you see how actually it evolved, I tried to find out this thing, how it started in 1943. I'm not going to go into the details, since I will be sharing this all slides. So in case if you're interested, if you want to explore further, if you want to do some research in this area, I think you can use this data, and it will definitely help you, because it is an attempt to identify how AI, the thought process about AI started, how that chronological advancements have laid down the foundation for creating and establishing this AI and machine learning as a core area of study today, which is going to be a must for every business to sustain and survive. So starting from 1943, then there was 1952 that self-learning programs have started, 1954. So this is something which is chronologically how year by year the different projects were started, different individuals were started. Like in 1972, this Prolog, which is considered to be one of the best languages for AI-based application development, it was started. Then this is something. These are the active events which actually kept that ball moving in the field of AI and it in taking it in the state where we are today. So, in fact, I wanted to touch this because, just to give an overview how actually AI started and how it is why it is important for all of us to understand, to appreciate it, because today, especially for the people, I'm sure there must be some students also, and they would be looking for their professional career after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, where whatever their course requirement is. But this one slide, which I actually wanted to share, and I think this one slide will make my discussion complete. In industry has always tried to explore, discuss, deliberate that what is happening in industry today. And then if things are happening like this, down the lane, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, how the technology is going to take turn and what kind of shift in paradigm, existing paradigm is expected. So that World Economic Forum, which is organized today, in this World Economic Forum, it also includes one session where industry leaders of top global companies, they come, they discuss among themselves, they deliberate on the existing industrial framework, and they also discuss that if the current trend is continued, what kind of technological advancements are going to be witnessed in near future, and how those technologies are going to dominate or going to impact the businesses, the individuals, the society, and how whether industry is ready for that. Because then those discussions are sum up in the form of report, and then the report is published. So in 2018, when this World Economic Forum took place, there was a session in which global industry leaders, they were participating, they're discussing, and that entire deliberation was complete. That entire discussion was summed up in 12 different points. I'm not going to detail of those 12 points, but I could find there are a few points, 3-4 points, which are very important as far as all of us are concerned, whether we are a student, whether it's a teacher, whether we're industry professionals, because if we do not understand those things, if we do not try to appreciate what actually is happening and what is expected to happen in next 2 to 3, 5 years, 10 years down the lane, we may not be relevant in that. It may pose a big question mark on our own existence as a professional. It may challenge our own skills, which we are possessing today. So the first point where they mention that what are those factors which will act as driver of change in coming next 3 to 5 years. And these 4 points, they identified that these are the 4 points which has that potential to become the change of the driver of change in industry. And if industry is changing, our role of academic institutions and especially the students, those who would be aspiring to be part of industry after 2 years, 3 years, this is very important for them to understand and then make sure that the efforts are made so that they are able to respond to all these things. Now we all know that 5G is already in place. Even in India, we are expecting very soon this 5G is going to be the new normal. With this ubiquitous high-speed mobile fast internet, now the barriers, the challenges what we used to have because of that low bandwidth are going to be diminished. And this will create a new kind of infrastructure, new kind of ecosystem where the communication medium, the communication speed will not be a constraint. The second thing, what they have mentioned, the artificial intelligence and machine learning, these are the things which are going to dominate heavily the entire industry. Any applications which are based on the concept of AI and machine learning, deep learning, the time is going to be for them. And that's what already started. That many of the companies, whether it is pharmaceutical, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is FMCG, whether it is the retail sector, even in education sector also, that things have already started taking place. Now manufacturing companies, they are preferring, they are exploring the possibilities of delivering the product to their consumers through technology-based system like drones. The manufacturing plant in the warehouses, now gone are those days when people used to be, the human resource was deployed there to identify the products, to take out it, to take it out and then place somewhere. Now all these things are done by automated machines. The RPA, the robotic process automation, is already in place. Now, IoT, we all know that yes, of course, it business commercially it is yet to take off, but that IoT applications have already started coming up even in our households. We have already started witnessing that partial implementation of those things. Now, when these integrations are taking place, internet bandwidth is not going to be the challenge. The applications are creating an environment where devices will be communicating with each other without any direct human being intervention. This communication is going to create huge voluminous data, and the data is not necessarily will be structured or conventional form. It is going to social media data. So on social media, when we write something, when information is posted there, we don't follow any kind of a structure or method. So that unstructured data will also be there. Likewise, the semi-structured where we do tagging. So structured, unstructured, semi-structured, all these kind of data is going to be created, and that volume is going to be used. Now, how to deal with that? How to store that data? How to process it? How to create those outcomes, the patterns which we actually want, and how to deliver it at right place with safe and secure platform. This is going to be the biggest challenge, and people, those who would be in AI and machine learning, the people, those who would be having well-versed or good understanding of big data and data analytics are going to be in huge demand. Now, once this huge data is going to be generated, now people have already started thinking that tomorrow these clouds may not be able to accommodate this voluminous data, and people have already started discussing about edge computing. So that edge computing is something, but still that cloud has that potential, maybe integrated with edge computing and then creating expanding its horizon to accommodate voluminous data. So these four technologies are expected to dominate that entire industry, is irrespective of the vertical, irrespective of domain. Whether a person from technology, if he's a person from technology, he is responsible for creating an application or using that, deploying those applications, maintaining those applications. So this is going to be the minimum requirement for them. Likewise, those who are managing it, the people from management, unless they have that understanding how to use these applications, they might not feel comfortable in this new challenge. And this driver of change, it has created what kind of scenario it is going to create. Just go through this one slide. It will tell you that actually what kind of challenges are expected to come. Professor who was addressing from King Aziz University, if I'm not wrong, he mentioned that currently the job profile what we have, tomorrow all those job profiles are going to be diminishes, and if not all, it is expected that about 58%. Today, the job profile, the kind of work we are doing, it is expected that by 2022, the skills required to perform most jobs will have shifted significantly. And global average skill stability, the proportion of core skill required to perform a job, that will remain the same. It is expected to be about 58%. Means if today 100 people are employed, 42% people will lose their job because they will not be required. But those 42 people with current skill may not be required, but those 42 people with a different skill set will be replacing them. So what options they have? They either to understand today that what kind of skills will be required in time to come, start learning today and be prepared. When time comes, you migrate from current skill to new skill. And if you don't have those new skills, if you do not reskill yourself or upgrade your skills, at the end of the day, the people with this reluctancy who will not be going for skill upgradation or reskilling, they will be the first people, those will be fired. So this situation is creating the kind of, so number one, that the job profile what we have today will be substantially replaced by new skill set. And why it is happening? Because of increase in technology, because of the new technologies coming, because of the heavy massive technology adoption. Now companies are open to adopt new technologies, and after adopting those new technology, they would be requiring people, those who can work on those technologies. Means those new technology will require different kind of skill set, and those, if people have those skill sets, they would be welcomed. And if new things are adopted, the old thing automatically are going to be rejected. Now if old things are going out or phased out, the people who will remain on old process, they will have to be phased out. So better we understand the requirement which are going to take place in 2 to 3 years, 5 years down the lane, and start working on that. So this growing skill in instability, it it uh, uh, it it tells the famous Alan Toffler statement that learn, unlearn, and relearn. As long as we will be learning what is required today, tomorrow if something else is required, unlearn what we have learned today, and then relearn those new things. This learning, unlearning, and relearning will be the only mantra which will make sure that we in industry are able to survive and sustain. And the very interesting pattern, if you see that 54%, that 42% people are going to be forced either to reskill or to be out of job, and they will be phased out. Now, what it says that out of those 42% people, the 54% overall by 2021, 54% of overall employees will require significant re and upskilling. Means out of 100 people employed today, by 2021, means this is 2021 already started. We are already almost completing 2 months. So hardly 10 months are left now. The 54% of total employees will have to learn new things to upgrade themselves. And out of these 54% people, 35% are expected to require additional training of up to 6 months. Means if I today say 54% of all employees will require significant re and upskilling, means learning new technology, new skills, or improve, upgrade themselves. Out of those, 35% people would be expected to be trained for minimum 6 months to learn those new skills. There would be different kind of skills which will take 6 months to 12 months to learn. And those skills would be required at least 9% of existing resource. So 9% people would be required to learn something which will take 6 to 12 months time to learn. 10% people out of those 54%, they will require to learn something new which may take more than a year to learn. Now imagine if by 2022 something is going to happen, and if somebody starts learning in 2022, by the time he becomes ready, it is almost a 1 year pass, and organization may find some better alternative for that. So these things are creating a different kind of challenge altogether. And if we do not respond to these challenges today, trust me, the job is not going to be very. My objective of mentioning all these things is not to create panic, but beforehand, if we have information that what is likely to happen in time to come, it is an opportunity for us that if industry people are not reskilling or upskilling, we can learn at least fundamental of those skill sets, because company never sees to a fresher as an expert, but what they expect that at least you have a fundamental understanding what actually it is. Because if you know fundamentals, if you are able to apply the concepts what you are studying, company prefers those people. And that's why today, what companies say that I want a specific skill set. If you know, if you are able to understand, appreciate what actually it is, if you are open to learn, you are most welcome. So that attitude is going to be very important. Any reluctancy, gone are those days when I completed my PG in 95. And when I joined company, I had that choice, that liberty that, yes, of course, I'm a COBOL programmer. I am a database expert. So I want to work in a database only. People were not there. And then if I said that I'm a COBOL programmer, I had that luxury to do COBOL programming only. Nobody forced me to go on ADA or any other language. But today, if you say that I do not know this, I am expert of this, this is not going to serve the purpose. Until unless you have extraordinary knowledge or extraordinary skills in that specific area, people aren't going to accept it. Because if you say no, there are tens of people behind you who are waiting for the chance. So this AI and machine learning is all creating an environment which is full of opportunity. The only thing which is required or which would be required is to people who are ready to learn new things, who are ready to adopt to new environment, who are ready to learn and contribute the businesses. If one can do that, trust me, opportunities are enormous. But now people, if that has that reluctancy in learning new things, reskilling, upskilling, the time is going to be very tough. And that's what I wish to convey from this forum. So ultimately, this artificial intelligence and machine learning, it's something which is going to be the part of every business process. All of us who are aspiring to be the part of any such business house or to be part of an industry, of course, because the one question which all of us has to ask from ourselves, that why company will recruit us or select us for to a student. Company looks for a resource which can help them or which can assist them in their own core processes. If you have that ability, if you have that skills, it doesn't matter that you may, because while studying, you may not be expert of anything. But at least if you have fundamental understanding of what actually technology is, how it works, it is easier for the companies to train you and put on job. And that's what companies are looking for. It is already 2. The lunch time, and I'm sure that people would be waiting for that. I did not touch the technical aspects intensely, because going into technical aspects, Professor Ratnadeep sir had already took those mathematical dimension of AI and machine learning, how it is implemented, how it works. We can take those things later on in some formal specific technology session. For the time being, I'm really thankful to IIBM Patna for giving this opportunity to speak on this forum, to share my little understanding of this subject. And we look forward to have some specific technical discussions with technology, with details, mathematical dimension of this AI and machine learning, if people are interested. Thank you so much, Rohitji. Thank you so much to the team IIBM Patna for this wonderful session. The participants may not realize today that how important this topic is, but I'm sure that in time to come, they will understand and appreciate why it is very important today to participate in these discussions, to try to understand and get information about all these things and put their efforts. My humble submission to all the participants, and especially the students, I'm talking about students, that try to understand what actually it is, how it is done, focus on fundamentals of AI, machine learning today, because only fundamentals, if you have these fundamentals well versed, rest of the things will follow it. Thank you so much once again to Rohit ji. Thank you so much to Professor A.K. Nayak. Please convey my regards to him. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Sunil sir. And it was a really informative session by you, sir. You have just extracted the basic, we can say that the longitudinal and the cross-sectional areas of artificial intelligence and machine learning, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You have guided our guests and dignitaries the right path, why we should opt and why we should look forward for machine learning as well as the artificial intelligence. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And so now it's a time for our end of the session. And first of all, I like to thank all of you. I like to thank Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak sir for conducting such a very informative webinar on this informative topic. I like to thank Bimal Roy sir for having his precious time and having the inaugural session with us, sir. And I would also like to thank the Dolly Sinha ma'am, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Lalit Narayan Mithila University, who has just conveyed her message. And at last, I'd like to thank our all respected dignitaries, our guests like Sunil Kumar Pandey sir, like Syed Muhammad Buhari sir, like Professor R.R. Deshmukh sir. And last but not the least, I'd like to thank all the participants who are presently hearing this session, and thank you all of you for joining today's session. And we pray God for the grand success of this webinar. And with these words, I like to conclude today's session. And you are also having the feedback form link provided in the chat box. Please do and fill that. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And with all your permission, I like to sign off our today's meeting, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar, Deshmukh sir.